really pleased that all of you have been able to come here this morning, and I want to take just a moment to acknowledge some of the people who are here and have helped us so much with that. First of all, I want to acknowledge the mayor of Coralville, John London, and President Sally Mason, who will address you in a moment, and Sally has been really a strong supporter of that, help us at every turn, and this is really quite a realization for the whole campus. Ken Case, the CEO of the hospital, will also address you in a moment. Scott Turner, the Chief Operating Officer, who he is still involved quite a bit in helping, coordinating all what is happening with the hospital. Mary Ferentz, Mary is here. Mary has always been here. She's the chair of the advisory council, who really give us advice about what we should do for family and for the children. Thank you, Mary, for being here. We have also here Scott Henchy from, Scott is in the back, one of the architects who help us with this. And at the end, I want to recognize really the family and the children. And this is really for you that we've done all this. And you are and will continue to be really the primary focus of what we are doing here and of all the effort that we've put. If you look at this, in 1921, I'm not to give you the whole story, but in 1921 there was another children's hospital. And this children's hospital was where the Papa John building, the Papa John Institute is placed presently. It was used up to probably the end of the 50s after the polio epidemic. Then the Department of Orthopedics went in. The College of Public Health was there for a while. And since that time, there's been no other children's hospital, really. Pediatric moved to the General Hospital in the 60s, was on the west side of the Children's Hospital, moved in the Carlton Pavilion around 1980, and really has expanded across the whole plan of the hospital, now occupying space in Carver and Carleton and in Papa John Pavilion since that time. Now, there was a dream at the time, and the dream was, even in the mid-70s when I came here, was to build a new children's hospital, and that was the dream of everybody. Now we can say that there is not a dream anymore. This is something that is becoming a reality, and this is a real reality for all of us. And this is a place that is presently built for children, where children will be treated the way that pediatric care should be given. This is also a unique asset for the state, an asset that is good for, that will reflect on everyone, on every Iowan in the state. It advanced the level of care for children, and it symbolized also the excellence of the community and where this community is putting its priority. And really, the hallmark of a community is determined many times by the way they take care of the poor and they take care of their children. And this is really, we have to be proud of this in all respect. Again, it's a privilege for me to be here. It's a privilege to be part of this community. It's a privilege to be part of this university. Now it's my distinct pleasure to introduce Mallory Orbanoff, member of the UI Children Advisory Council, and Mallory has a wonderful story to tell you.
Hello, my name is Mallory Obanoff, and I am a scoliosis survivor. In 2003, at only 5 years old, I was diagnosed with idiopathic scoliosis. My spinal curvature was already at 30 degrees. I didn't know what scoliosis was and had no idea that my condition was a concern for my future health. After being referred to this hospital, I began my scoliosis journey with Dr. Stuart Weinstein. He encouraged me to wear a back brace for up to 14 hours every day to help slow the progress of my curve. I didn't understand why I had to wear this back brace. It was uncomfortable, and I was nervous that other people would stare at me or make fun of me for wearing it. During the next several years, Dr. Weinstein and his staff guided me through my treatment with compassion and understanding. I continued to do the activities that I loved, such as some competitive swimming, dancing, and playing my flute. At times, I had difficulty breathing when swimming long-distance races because my lungs were being crushed by my rib cage. In November 2011, Dr. Weinstein advised me and my family that I needed spinal fusion surgery. It was scheduled for March 29, 2012, because my spinal curvature had already increased to a shocking 85 degrees. If I didn't have the surgery, my internal organs would continue to be crushed and cause severe health issues. During my 7-day hospital stay, I was meticulously cared for by Dr. Weinstein and the Children's Hospital staff. My parents were allowed to stay with me in my hospital room, which was truly a blessing. Once I returned home, I began to share my scoliosis experience with several of Dr. Weinstein's patients and families who were beginning their own scoliosis journey. It was very gratifying for me to help those families through their fears of the unknown. In 2013, I was chosen by Dr. Weinstein to travel to Washington, D.C. with him as a scoliosis patient advocate. My role was to help lobby for the advancement of musculoskeletal research funding. As I presented my story, the representatives were shocked and amazed at the before and after x-rays. By seeing pictures of the activities that I could still do with rods and screws in my back, I made a powerful impression on them. This experience allowed me to understand the significance of funding, which empowers this hospital to continue its forward momentum in research. Last fall, I was invited to join the Youth Advisory Council. With this diverse group of members, our council has been able to provide feedback and offer healthcare improvement suggestions for future patients and families. I am privileged to visit with many patients and families in the hope of inspiring them to overcome their personal challenges, no matter what those may be. In conclusion, I would like to express my gratitude to the UI Children's Hospital for helping me through my scoliosis and spinal fusion journey. Without the skilled staff and their incredible knowledge, I, along with countless other scoliosis patients, would continue to endure physical difficulties and overall health challenges. My hope is for patients to embrace the caring family atmosphere here, like I did, and for them to continue to receive the finest treatment options from one of the best nationally ranked hospitals. Congratulations to everyone who has been a part of this newly constructed children's hospital. It is my honor to be a part of your family. Thank you. Please join me in welcoming the University of Iowa's 20th president to the podium. President Mason has been a strong supporter of the new UI Children's Hospital as part of an overall campus transformation. President Mason, thank you so much for your leadership.
Well, Mallory, I knew that Dr. Weinstein was one of the best in the world, but she's living proof of the brilliance of some of our very best doctors and surgeons. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this. It's an exciting day. It's an exciting project that's going up right behind us, without a doubt. This is a truly wonderful day, a major milestone in the construction of our amazing new children's hospital and the development of our healthcare campus. Now, as you've heard, there have been some magnificent gifts from families to help us build this new children's hospital and to support the programs, the faculty, the staff, and of course, the patients. Generosity comes in all sizes and from all ages. Equally important are gifts made by our wonderful dance marathon students, as well as by some of our youngest donors. We are very, very proud to partner with children who have created lemonade stands to raise money for the hospital, some who have even donated their tooth fairy money, because they want other kids to be cared for here at this outstanding hospital, and in some cases, just the way they've been cared for. These generous children are setting an example for all of us, showing that we're all able to play a role in making this new hospital possible and making it the best that it can be. The motto of Dance Marathon has always been for the kids. And it's especially inspiring to see the amazing way that For the Kids has even become by the kids. Through the UI Children's Hospital, we want to ensure the best for Iowa's children and their families, to provide the most sophisticated, most compassionate, and most caring hospital so that lives can be filled with as much health and happiness as possible. So I encourage everyone here today, and everyone who's not here too, to support this new children's hospital at whatever level you can. Our children, your children, will thank you for it. So again, today is a very, very special day. Let's have a big round of applause for all of those who make a difference in the lives of children every day. Well, it's now my great pleasure to turn the podium over to Chris Dennison and Stacy Van Gorp, who will share with you what our UI Children's Hospital has meant to them.
I'm bringing up the whole family, not just the two of us. Thank you, President Mason, for those remarks. And on behalf of the entire Family Advisory Board, we're very proud to be representing you today, and we are very grateful for this moment. Someone asked me recently why we chose the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, and the answer was pretty simple. There really was no choice for us. Simply put, the University of Iowa Children's Hospital provides some of the best care in the nation for kids like ours. Our 10-year-old twins, Marin and Bern, both have cystic fibrosis. They were born 7 weeks early up there on the 7th floor of the NICU, and they were very, very sick. Bern was rushed to surgery so quickly after birth that I didn't even get a chance to see him. Together, the twins had 5 surgeries in their first 60 days. I don't think of cystic fibrosis as a chronic disease anymore. I think of it as a relentless disease. Cystic fibrosis can steal away the space in your lungs, filling it with mucus and bacteria, making it harder and harder to breathe. Marin and Bern battle cystic fibrosis every single day. They spend 90 minutes in physical therapy reclaiming the space in their lung, and Marin, the champ that she is, takes 308 pills and medications a week. They fit this in along with soccer and hockey and piano and cello and all of the other great things 10-year-olds should be doing. Cystic fibrosis is a heavy burden. The disease never goes on vacation, and the treatments never get a day off. But we don't carry that burden alone. We have the support of the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. And like the beam that's going to be raised later today, the University of Iowa Children's Hospital supports our family. It helps us withstand the weight of cystic fibrosis. Our relationship with UIHC began with the incredible surgeons and doctors and nurses in the NICU. They saved our children's lives. Today, our support comes from the world-class team in the Cystic Fibrosis Clinic, led by Dr. Tim Starner, who even shows up on Saturday to support us. Thank you for being here, Dr. Starner. We are blessed to have the Cystic Fibrosis Clinic staff by our side in the battle with cystic fibrosis. Not only do they provide great care, but some of the most important research in the country comes out of the University of Iowa. As you can see, it's really the people at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital who make this place special. And today, we're thrilled to see that some of those people are going to move into a new, awesome space. By the time Bern had turned 4, I calculated he had spent 10% of his nights at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. He even learned how to ride a tricycle in the halls of the hospital during one very, very long stay. I'm not sure that's impossible anymore, but he did it. Our daughter Marin celebrated her 3rd birthday on 3JCP. When a family spends days here, birthdays here, holidays here, the quality of the space, the feel of the building, the size of the room, and even the comfiness of the parent couch all make a really big difference. We are grateful to the University of Iowa and all of those donors, younger and older, for investing in a new hospital for our children and your children. We want to thank you for creating a space that I hope and pray will make those hard days a little easier. A couple of days ago, we were on our way to soccer practice, and I asked Vern, "What are you going to write on the beam?" He thought about it, and then he told me he's going to write, "We are all brave." And he is brave, and so is Marin. And so are the rest of the kids who come through those doors and will come through those doors. And being brave isn't at all easy some days. But we're grateful that we have the University of Iowa Children's Hospital to help us be healthy and brave. Thank you. Marin's keeping track of that mascot, making sure she knows where he is. So next I want to welcome Cameron Christensen, a member of the UI Children's Hospital Youth Advisory Council, to the podium to share his story and his thoughts about the new UI Children's Hospital. Welcome, Cameron.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Christensen, and it is my honor to be standing in front of everybody here today to celebrate such an amazing milestone in the history of this great hospital. I was first introduced here as a patient when I was 2 years old. I was diagnosed with a Wilms tumor in my right kidney. The tumor was the size of a racquetball, and the doctor said that it needed to be surgically removed. So I went through treatment for about 9 months up here at the hospital. And after a successful surgery, I was in remission for about 1 year and 3 months. I relapsed the first time when I was 4 years old. There was a softball-sized mass in my ileum, and once again, the tumor along with the organ needed to be surgically removed. So after around 1 year of treatment, I was able to be out of the hospital for only around 8 months this time. The second time I relapsed, there were 2 small tumors inside of my liver. One of them the size of a $50, one of them the size of a quarter. And after a 12-hour exploratory surgery, the surgeon said that there was nothing they could do but try to shrink the tumors with hard chemotherapy and radiation. They were successful in that treatment, and they needed to remove most of my liver along with both of the tumors. Sorry. When I was going through my first round of treatment, my parents tell me stories of what the hospital used to look like on the old floor, on the old 3JCP floor. They say it often looked like it could use a bit of livening up, or possibly it was a little outdated, needed some freshening up. During my second round of treatment, I was still a part of the old JCP, but towards the end of it, they started the renovations on it. And during my third round of treatment, they were full head-on with the renovations, and I had to be moved to the 7th floor. Being a kid, the 7th floor was very, very boring for me. But I was lucky enough to be moved back to floor 3 JCP during the end of my third treatment. The point of that story was to show you all that I was lucky enough to see firsthand the changes that had happened on the 3rd floor, and I'm even luckier now to be part of the group that gives their own input and thoughts into the new Children's Hospital. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for all of us here today. Speaking of the future, going through all of my treatment, I have aspired to become some sort of medical practitioner up here at the University of Iowa. I am not sure what field I'm going to go into yet, but I do plan to come up here and study at the University of Iowa and become a doctor. Thank you. And now, finishing my speech, I will introduce Scott Turner, the Executive Director of the University of Iowa Children's Hospital, to share some final remarks. Mr. Turner.
So I'm Ken Cates, and I have the pleasure of serving as the CEO of the University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics. I have a new granddaughter who was just born, and in case she was born on time, Scott was going to fill in for me. So she was born 11 days early. She's doing great, and I couldn't be a happier pop-pop. But thank you, Cameron. That was just wonderful. And it's an absolute honor to share the stage today with such special guests as we gather to celebrate another milestone in the development of our new children's hospital. Today, as we raise the beam together and take pride of ownership by offering our signatures, I think it's fitting to acknowledge the definition of BEAM as a critical support structure personifying the importance of everyone assembled here: patients, families, donors, faculty, staff, trainees, volunteers, construction crews, legislators, and community. My sincere thanks goes out to all of you for contributing your expertise and energies to achieving the mission of this world-class Children's Center of Excellence. Today is your day to celebrate. Thank you very much for supporting your UI Children's Hospital. Our new UI Children's Hospital will truly change medicine and change kids' lives. So it's now the time for you to leave your mark, and we'd like to start with our speakers, the Obanoff, Dennison and Van Gorp, and Christensen families to come up. Thank you.